Have you gotten your flu and COVID shots? What happened in the Stone Skimming Championship? Why did somebody accidentally die in Universal's Epic Universe? What is an Otrovert? Do you grok? All that and more on this episode of the Stuff and Junk Show. Welcome to the Stuff and Junk Show. We share our opinions on random subjects from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, our likes and dislikes, things you've seen, heard, or read, what we did, and what we do. You know, stuff and junk. Hello, my name is Albert.
Hey, now it's coming.
I think it's just the two of us. So sorry,
It's
listeners.
a couple of dudes.
Another. This month seems to be the. Is it this month? Yeah. This month seems to be the dude bro month. So, yeah. Honestly, I was willing to like just skip the whole week.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but I'm not in the mood to record to talk about stuff, considering stuff that's been happening in the world.
I think it's going great. I think it's going about as well as expected when we made the elections last year. So yeah.
Yeah.
You know the expression, you make your bed and you gotta lie in it and stuff like that. You know, what are you gonna do? You know?
So I feel like I'm like in one of those moods where I'm like, do we really want to do this dog and pony show?
I'm also just in interest of disclosure. I'm playing hurt too because I got the double needles yesterday. I got the COVID and the flu shot for the season. You know, you gotta get the COVID shots while you can. You know what I mean? Before they outlaw it. You know what I mean? Before they make it.
I mean, we're in California, so it's not that much of a deal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so CVS got you too, huh?
Yeah. It was a walk-in too. I just went there right when it opened. Me and my nephew and I both got both shots yesterday.
Yeah, I got the message from CVS saying, "Hey, flu and COVID shots are here if you want it." I haven't got it yet. Yeah, I wanted to wait closer to next month. Is what my plan is, because they have an efficacy of like 4 months, 3 months. I wanted to carry over to the next year, so I'm waiting just a little bit longer.
Well, my whole thing is I'm gonna make my trip pretty soon. My annual trip to China, and this time I've added Bangkok to the end of it as a little vacation. So I figured, you know what, I better get as much immunity in my body as possible.
Yeah, especially since you're going to Bangkok.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm even look. I asked the lady at CVS, like, "Hey, does CVS have any programs for like additional vaccines?" I told her I'm going to Bangkok, and she says, "Yeah, you can go to CVS website, CVS Minutes."
And then she said, "Especially since you're going to Bangkok."
Actually, I was gonna make a little dirty joke afterwards. I was gonna say, you know what? Maybe I might when I come back, I would probably need additional shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there you go.
You see, she's a pharmacy. She's the classy, you know what I mean? The classy lady. And so I don't want to make any dirty jokes. I mean, it's not this podcast, with a bunch of heathens. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it a little bit classy and stuff.
She didn't do the thing where she put her hand in her face with her eyes closed and go, "Must stay professional." Yeah, must stay professional.
No, she's a grown ass woman. She's a pharmacist. But yeah, because of it, like I said, I read online. The thing is, I'm only going for like 3 days. It's not even that big of a trip. I'm looking for like, they always say like dengue fever, what do you call it, malaria, what do you call it, rabies, and so I was just curious to see if they have any kind of like packages or vaccine packages for traveling to Thailand. So we'll see. Anyway, but no matter what, regardless, I got both the COVID and flu shot for the year.
Yeah, it's kind of too, because like when you said I got both the COVID, then my head went into slow motion, and all I heard was that, "Oh my God, you got COVID."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you just cut out. I'm assuming you said something positive and reassuring.
Oh yeah, so absolutely positive. I know somebody who went on a cruise and got COVID. Because
recently,
yeah.
That's a bummer. Was it a mild case or a pretty big case or like a bad case?
I don't think it's a bad case. It's your standard standard. I don't even know what's considered standard nowadays. But yeah, it isn't like need to be hospitalized. Just pretty much just quarantine at home kind of situation. Yeah. So yeah, well, it's a cruise. Everybody's stuck in there like a petri dish. So yeah. What can you do? Not going cruises.
Not going cruises, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
Again, this is something we rehashed before, but I thought there was a couple of things I'm using royal we. I thought we all agreed on post-COVID, like, hey, we're not going to shake hands anymore. We're not going to go on cruises anymore. Buffets are kind of out, but I guess what can you do?
Well, Las Vegas took it to heart. No more buffets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you. There are some things that we learned 5 years ago or 3 years ago that people seem to have forgotten. I get the whole like nobody's really wearing masks as much anymore. but you do still see people wearing masks. Like I've kind of stopped wearing masks in movie theaters, and I used to be pretty hardcore about that. My philosophy essentially is like I took all the shots I needed to take, and I think I'm okay. It's that kind of situation. It's a little bit it's a little ignorant, but at the same time, it's like, so there's that. But yeah, do you don't? I mean, we went to the movie theater. You weren't wearing a mask either, so I guess
no, I don't wear a mask either.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing a mask, but I do. I think we mentioned this during the COVID years. Like it's come true. It's because the COVID shot is just like a flu shot I take every year now. It's just like I get one, I get the other one. You know what I mean? It's just something I just keep up with.
Pretty much. But the question now is like, should we actually be taking them both at the same time?
Yeah, I don't care that much. You know what I mean? So the downside is two sore arms. I'm like my left and right arm are very sore. I'm kind of tired and groggy. My voice is a little, I don't know if people can tell, but my voice is a little on a lower register because of it and stuff like that. Yep. I feel a little bit down, but I'd rather do that than go back, go a second time. You know what I mean?
True. That is true.
I'm just lazy. And the thing is, my CVS is just like literally like 2 minutes away from my house.
Yeah,
it's not that big a deal. But still, I just want to go twice. I mean, I'm like, I'm here, just stick it in my arm. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And especially there was no wait. You know what I mean? I think we were the only one there to get flu and COVID shots. You know what I mean? We were there first thing in the morning. So I was like, it's over with. You know what I mean?
Will there really be a line though? I don't think I ever really seen a line since COVID seasons.
Yeah, I mean, last year I believe there was I made an appointment. There was 2 people in front of me and stuff like that. And the year before that, there was always a couple of people in front of me and stuff like that. But this time, I didn't even make an appointment. We just showed up. You know what I mean? They opened at 10. We showed up at 10:10. We were like the only ones there for the shots. So it was free. After we arrived, there's 2 people behind. It became 2 people behind me. It's 2 more people got shots behind. But yeah, I think if you're too lazy just to go on the website, make an appointment, dude, just show up at whenever they open and stuff like that, and then you get pretty easily.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I believe the last times I did do appointments just to make it convenient. But yeah, okay, that's an idea. Yeah. All right then. It's the 909th episode of the show, and as of this recording, it's currently 5:40 a.m. September 22, 2025 in Eastdale, Scotland. And it's time to take a look and see what's up.
You think anybody in the federal government listens to that? Do you think they have trigger words? Hey, they talk about COVID. It's positive talk about COVID. We should ban them. You know what I
mean? I think we're fine.
Yeah. You think somewhere what do you call it? RFK's ears are ringing. Like, hey man, hey, what's going on? People want to take COVID shots. People are interested in vaccines. Get out of here.
Well, over
at the FBI.
Over at Eastdale, Scotland, moving on, you're familiar with the World Stone Skimming Championships, aren't you?
I think it was in my For You page for TikTok. I know what the story is. Okay. I know where it's going. All right. I didn't pay attention to it because it's stupid, obviously, but still, I know what this is going.
So skipping stones is apparently a championship, a competition, a sport. It's a thing. As we all find out, there's a thing for everything. So there's a World Stone Skimming Championship off in Scotland, the West Coast. Hundreds of contestants, they to go look for the champion. The last place I would think of that would probably have a scandal. And the scandal would be that they notice some of these rocks that they're tossing seems an awful like they're been perfect. They're perfected. Like they're suspiciously round, as they called it.
Yeah.
Like to make it easier to skip the water, to skim the water, kind of thing.
Like, do they bring? I don't want to get. I'm sorry I asked this question, but do they bring their own stones? Whether there's stones there for you and stuff like that. You find it on site. You know what I mean? Do people bring their own stones to skip?
They're supposed to find them on site. So they go to the location. They're supposed to find stone. Right. But they also have to pass through some kind of measuring device, which they call the Ring of Truth. Right. And they're finding out that the general rule of stone, it has to be naturally formed. It has to be found on the island. And it cannot be wider than 3 inches at their widest point.
Why is there a sticker on the bottom of this stone that says "Made in Taiwan"? What's going on there? What's happening? Is that automatic disqualification? I don't know what the rules are.
I do not know if everybody has to be put in some kind of scan to see if they brought rocks with them, right? I don't know. Like, how would you even do that? Are they just gonna
In
frisk everybody?
my head, as you were going through like the rules and blah blah blah, in my imagination, it would be like a heist kind of thing where the people that cheated or being accused of cheating. I don't mean to label them guilty. Accused of cheating, they will show up the day before. You know what I mean? And then laid out the rocks. Like, oh, I found these. Oh, look at that. You know what I mean? Like I laid out these. They came the day before, laid it out. You know what I mean? Put little markers like where they could find it and stuff like that, and then they show up the next day during the competition. At least and quote unquote found these rocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
So
interesting.
How would you judge the winner? And by the way, I'm looking at this article right now on the CBC.ca. It's a Canadian news store. Apparently, stone skimming. This is the description. It's not to be confused with stone skipping, which is what I've been doing, which focuses on the number of bounces over a total distance. While stone skimming is it's about maximizing the distance the stone travels before it sinks. What's the difference?
Wait, hold on. But don't you?
I see the difference.
Aren't you just throwing it then? But my guess is you have to touch the water once, and then that's when you start measuring, right? You can't
okay. So it looks like the difference here is that when you skim the water, they mark how it can bounce or it can skim, but they mark how far it goes. While stone skipping is based on how many bounces you can pull off.
Right. The second one is pretty easy. It's still self-explanatory. But the first one is, aren't you just tossing it then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you just toss it, right?
Aren't you just chucking it? What's the point of having being near water? In my imagination, in my head, it's like, hey, we start measuring the distance it travels once the stone hits the water for the first time. You know what I mean? And then that's when you start measuring the distance. You know what I mean? So that seems right to me. Because otherwise, you just chucking it. You know what I mean? So what's the point? What's the point?
Reading the article further, they said here that they just spotted the competitors using them, and then when I brought it to the attention of the people in question, they held their hands up, admitted their mistake, and accepted the disqualification, which was the ultimate punishment. People were honest about cheating. What?
I don't know if that's the ultimate punishment. You know what I mean?
Is this the reason? Punishment. Is this the reason why they're not in the U.S.?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's because they just took a look around and said, you know what, this is really stupid, man. Who cares? It's not that big. It's not that serious. I don't suppose the article mentions what the prize was. What was the award? What was the prize for winning? What was first place?
It's the Donald Melville Trophy for the winner, kind of thing. I don't know if it cuts it. No, it's just a trophy. It's just a trophy.
That's why they admit it. You know, it's like, who cares? You know, it's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? It's like not that big a deal.
It says 27 different countries participated, but it doesn't say which countries. But Canada was one of them. As is, yeah. All right. Okay then. There we go. That's stone skimming.
You think people actually flew in from 27 different countries, where they just happened to be around the area? Like, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm here already. You know what I mean? People actually fly in. You know.
Well, I mean, if the competition is so I won't say lame because they actually flew in, right? I mean, like, why would they go to the bother of like trying to cheat? Come on, just play the game.
Whole story sounds lame, but anyway.
What is not to be laughed at is in Universal Orlando, over at the new theme park, Epic Universe. Tragedy has befallen a person.
Yeah,
it was the roller coaster Stardust Racers, and this was in one of the I'm not sure which part of the park this is. I think it's a general theme park area of the Epic Universe thingy, because Epic Universe has different themes, right? This is apparently in the Celestial Park area. What is Celestial for?
I think it was the ride or die part of the park. You know what I mean?
Celestial.
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta see the stars. But anyways, So
I don't mean to make light of the situation. The guy actually passed away. I apologize.
Yeah. So apparently he had a pre-existing spinal condition. He used a wheelchair, was taking medication, all that stuff. Yeah. And when the ride ended, his girlfriend noticed that he was slumped over and looked like he was like battered, essentially, kind of thing. So a death by multiple blunt impact. Yeah. I think honestly, I'm not the person.
We're not doctors.
Autopsy. I'm not doctors, whatever.
Yeah.
But he could have literally died in the beginning of the ride, and the blunt impact could have just been him because he's not bracing himself. He's just like a body, right, moving
Yeah.
back and forth. So that might be what it looked
It
like.
seems like it seems like a pre-existing condition, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's which is a bummer. But my question was, obviously it's trash. I really don't make me light of it. So, Epic Universal, is it like a new theme? Is that part of Universal?
Yeah, it's a new theme park. It hasn't even been a year yet. It hasn't even been half a year yet. I don't think so.
Oh no, I knew it was new in the sense that it just opened. But is that like a new? Is this like the first one? You know what I mean? It's not like part of a larger thing in the United States. You know what I mean? You know how there's Six Flags everywhere.
Oh no, this is a new one. That's the only place that has it right now.
Brand. Okay. I didn't even know they were like opening like new theme parks, like roller coaster theme parks. Bro.
I talked about this in a previous podcast earlier this year.
Oh, did you? I obviously don't pay
Epic Universe. I was like, watch it on YouTube. You can make it, kind of thing. Right? I mean, I even had a story about how this is one of those theme parks that if it rains, you may as well not go because most of the rides are outside and they have to shut it down during the rain. So great choice choosing Florida, but okay.
But this is geared toward dudes and Mountain Dew drinkers and stuff like that.
No. This is geared towards the Hollywood side of Universal. Like it has the Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon. It has like the Monster Universe kind of thing. Right? It has Frankenstein and Dracula and all that stuff, kind of thing.
But it's not geared towards like roller coaster ride, thrill seekers and stuff like that.
I think there are. I think each land has like roller coasters, kind of thing, but not only roller coasters. I think this is also where they put Super Mario World. Yeah, Super Mario World in Florida is in Epic Universe. Okay. So is that right? Could be wrong about that, but they are right or wrong or whatever. Anyways, point is that it's very unfortunate. This is like bad publicity for the park. I mean, mainly, I don't think it's their fault. I mean, you go on theme park rides, and there's always warning signs about like must have no heart condition and all this list of stuff that nobody really looks at, right? So I can't blame the park. I can't blame I can't blame the rider either because
we're not doctors.
I'm sure he didn't know that was going to happen, right?
We're not doctors, still.
Yeah,
we can wait for autopsy. It does seem like it's like a pre-existing kind of thing. You know what I mean?
So it's just an unfortunate incident.
When it comes to warnings and stuff, I never really consider somebody with like spinal injury as a possible thing.
Yeah,
I thought people with heart conditions, older people, obviously. You know what I mean? But never really thought about people with spinal injuries not being able to ride on a roller coaster.
But I don't know if they're just mentioning that because he has it. I don't even know if that's the reason why he died. So who knows at this point?
Well, that goes back to our original point. We're not doctors. We can just wait for that.
Yeah, we're not doctors. I'm just reporting on the tragedy of this, and I don't know what this means for the ride. The ride, by the way, the article does have a list of what warnings it comes with. Oops, just kill the fly. Yeah. Okay. The Stardust Racers roller coaster opened to the public in May, so yeah, it hasn't been 6 months yet. It's described in the resort's website as a breathtaking dual launch coaster reaching incredible speeds up to 62 miles per hour, right? Which is actually pretty fast for roller coaster because average roller coasters go 20 to 40 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Stardust Racers was among the rides at Epic Universe, which were designed to accommodate people transferring from wheelchairs to the ride vehicle, which is actually common nowadays for any new theme park ride. The guide also said that riders of Stardust Racers were required to pass through metal detectors to make sure they had no loose items in their pockets that could fly out, and that people with prosthetic limbs needed to remove them before riding. I guess because it's so fast, we don't want anything to fly off, which understandable. Yeah, these are all restrictions that are essentially, or accommodations and restrictions that is common nowadays for theme park. One difference is that in Florida, this also goes to Disney World, is that unlike other smaller theme parks or venues or fairs, Disney World, Universal, they conduct their own inspections. The state does not. They have to do it themselves.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. So I'm sure there's a standard.
That sounds like Florida.
That sounds like Florida.
Do it yourself.
But I don't know how it is in California, for example. Like Disneyland has their own rules as well. There's a safety, but I don't know if that's based on like a California state guide thing or whatever. Don't know. I'm not so quite sure about that either. But yeah. So it's an unfortunate news story. Because like I said, I'm in the mood for bad things lately. But anyways, last week, I think it was last week, I mentioned how about like the definitions of an introvert, or what is it again? A person, not an introvert, a person who likes solitude, right? Yeah. So here's another one. Apparently, there's a new definition now. You know, you're familiar with introverts and extroverts, right?
Of course.
There's a third one now. It's called an Otrovert. An Otrovert is I guess the motto here that this article puts down is what belonging means and what it doesn't. A new trio of beings: introvert, extrovert, Otrovert. What if your strength isn't fitting in but standing apart? So introverts are people who are like, you know, shy, or they can't like socialize. Oh, what's the word?
Oh my God. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Real simple definition of introvert, extrovert, as my understanding is the way I view it. Introvert are people who, when you're in a crowd of people, we're in a lot, more than 2 or 3 people, their energy gets really, really low and stuff like that. They become less expressive and stuff. They turn inward. Extroverts are the opposite of that. The more people around, the more energy, the more outgoing they are and stuff like that. That's my understanding of the two words. So
okay.
We can just go from there.
Okay, and for Otroverts is this quote. I'll quote the article here. Despite the struggle to fit in entirely in any one place, Otroverts are not sad about it. In fact, once they understand themselves as an Otrovert, they enjoy their oddness and are then liberated to fit in everywhere. They dance on the line between introverts and extroverts. But unlike ambiverts, who also do this, they are
ambiverts. That means they only eat meat.
Okay. They are free from the strings that tether them to a group. So basically, they could be an introvert and an extrovert. Is that what is implying?
So they go both ways. So the bisexuals of the spectrum, or pansexuals.
Oh no! Look at this! Look at this! They are not joiners by trait. Book clubs, spin classes, PTA meetings, charity boards, network groups, group projects, anything that thrives on one mind steering the collective. Otroverts will not join. It's not in them. Interesting. So they're pretty much like, they're individualists, so to speak. They're not. They can be extrovert in terms of they're outgoing. They can also be introverts where they don't want to belong, but at the same time, it doesn't matter to them. But they seem to have not a fear, but a reluctance to join a group. In terms of like, if I have to be part of a collective, that's not me. That seems to be what it is. They tend to shy away from organized religion, political tribes, or any cause that demands allegiance. This is kind of interesting. I'm not going to say I'm an introvert, but for a lot of like games, like board games or video games, where it requires like I have to team up with another person or people, I have a tendency to not like those. And I think that's the best way for me to describe introverts. I'm that person where I'm like, I'd rather play a game where I'm playing by myself against other people. I don't really want to play a game where I'm with a team. Something like that. Yeah. So there we go. Otrovert. I don't think I played the best, but I tried.
I think it went well.
I think it went well.
I think it was worth going back to.
I agree. And that's what's up.
I'm also fantastic. All right, but go ahead. I'm sorry. What?
You can find You can find his podcast on Instagram, Blue Sky Trends, and YouTube at Stuff Junk Show. You can find me, Albert, on Instagram and Letterboxd at Albert5x5.
I gotta say, we missed the 2 chicks, man. This is not a strong finish to the podcast. You can find me on social media, JIAMINGLIOU.
Yes, lately I've been wanting to be more of just a producer than an actual contributor, but whatever.
Yeah.
Music has been provided by Gloomy June. Updates, contact info, ways to support us, and everything else is on the show notes found on whowhatwhereswhy.com. Before we wrap things up, are you familiar with Grok?
Grok?
Grok. Grok.
The football player?
Oh, no.
Rob Gronkowski?
Gronkowski. Yeah. Not Gronkowski. Grok. Yeah. Grok.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Grok. Most modern people will think of Grok and think of like, oh, is that the
football player?
Is that the AI for Twitter?
Oh,
because Twitter or X has an AI now called Grok.
Oh, that's a fact checker, right?
The XAI thing, yeah. Fact checker, I guess. Wasn't
it the one that slammed people on Twitter for being like white supremacists?
Correct.
And then they said, no, don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it went the other way.
Yeah, and then went the other way. They dialed it the other way.
Exactly. So, 2 stories regarding Grok. Very recently, and this also applies to ChatGPT. Apparently, if you share results from your conversation with Grok and I guess ChatGPT, that chat with that AI went to the public internet to the point that Google search was able to index it. So if people were asking Grok like, hey, how do I make my penis go bigger? Google got that.
You don't have to provide a real your own example, Albert. It's okay. It's fine.
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I never even used Grok, so why am I being defensive?
Yeah,
but anyways,
well, how did that come up top of mind? I don't understand. The real mystery.
I just needed an example that you would understand, Jiaming.
Right.
Oh, exactly. Oh, there we go. There we go.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Anyways, so yeah, but besides that, so for the longest time, for the past year or whatever, that I'm filming, not past year, I think it's only been around for 6 months. XAI. So for as long as I know what Grok is as an AI thing for Twitter, I didn't realize that Grok is actually a real word in the dictionary.
I had no idea. I only knew it as a football player. But yeah.
Yeah, which once again, it's not short for whatever. But apparently, Grok is a neologism coined by the American writer Robert A. Heinlein in his 1961 science fiction novel Stranger in a Strange Land. It summarizes the meaning of Grok as to understand intuitively or by empathy, to establish rapport with. So, there we go. Because I've heard other people go like, oh yeah, I kind of Grok that. And I'm like, why is Grok being used as an adjective? Or adjective? Verb. Verb? Adjective. Verb. What the hell? Anyways, so yeah, I just recently found out. Interesting news, Albert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really nailed it. Really, another really strong finish. My whole thing is, since you brought up X and stuff and Twitter and stuff, I joined Blue. I mean, I obviously stopped using Twitter a long time ago and stuff like that. But I also added Blue Sky. But the thing is, with Blue Sky, it's sort of just like, I know they got some publicity earlier in the year and stuff like that, or a lot of George followers and stuff. But I don't know if they've been able to keep up that momentum, because me personally, I haven't logged into Blue Sky. I'm just sort of like all in on TikTok right now. That's the one social media app that I use regularly at work. As I'm sticking around on at work, that's the one I kind of stick around with. You know what I mean? Now, depending on what's going to happen to TikTok, I don't know
where you're going to go.
What's going to look like in the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but still, that's my whole for the last, I would say, 6 months. I've been kind of out. I mean, it seems like Twitter's still there. I mean, Twitter's still there. You know what I mean? But I'm not keeping up with the news. Like, are people still on Twitter? Are people migrating to Blue Sky at a smaller clip now? Is it still all TikTok? But so I don't know.
Well, the thing is that I think a lot of people still migrated to Threads more than they did to Blue Sky, from what I understand. I'm on all three platforms. Well, not except for TikTok. I have an account there, but I don't really use TikTok. Only when you send me links. I'm not on Twitter. I gave up on that. I do post on Blue Sky for this podcast, but that's pretty much the only thing I do there. And Threads, occasionally I'll get pushed over there because I'm on Instagram. Right, Instagram is my social media of choice at this point.
I would say this because it's been, like I said, 6 months since I stopped. I mean, more than 6 months I used to, but it's been 6 months since I use TikTok frequently. So what I'm saying is, the last 6 months, 8 months, or something, there's been enough sort of like breaking news where I haven't gone back to Twitter. You know what I mean? And there's also been enough evidence, enough period of time where I realized Blue Sky is not really, good for breaking news. You know what I mean? When people get shot in the face and stuff like that, when there's weather stuff in Southern California, I tried looking at Blue Sky. It's just sort of not there. You know what I mean?
No,
you know what I mean? It's just there's just not enough people and stuff like that, which is fine. You know what I mean? Hey, I'd rather be there than Twitter. I'm never gonna. Well, I'm never gonna go back. But I'm looking like I'm sticking with TikTok for now.
Yeah, Twitter also actually makes it easy for me to not go back to Twitter, because whenever somebody shows me a link or sends me a link to Twitter and it shows you the thing, and then if I want to click some more, you'll go ahead and log in to see more. I'm like, nope.
No, dog.
This is as far as I'm going to go with that. It's that kind of a thing. Right. But there is a thing that I like in Blue Sky that would potentially have been really good with. Was there is the, what's it called? Where's my list? I'm looking at my Blue Sky right now. If I can find it. There is a section called News, right? Not News. No, that's not right either. Where is it?
Breaking news?
It was like a breaking news thing. Where is it? Is it Catch Up? Oh, it's Catch Up. I think it's Catch Up.
Sure.
Where they'll tell you like stuff that's been going on, kind of like what you got from Twitter, but it's based on like recent news kind of thing, kind of like what you got from Twitter. But if nobody's feeding the recent news to this tab on Blue Sky, then it's not as useful as what Twitter used to be.
Yeah.
Right. So like your example is like, let's say there's a fire like 1 mile away from here, and people would have, back in the day, people would have been tweeting about it, and you just go to Twitter, and then you'll find that article thing. Blue Sky theoretically has a part where you could do that, but it does require people to actually contribute to it, and we're not getting that. It's just unfortunate. So
like the example I would use, like the split second earthquake happens in Southern California, you can go on Twitter, like almost like in real time. People go hashtag earthquake question mark. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there was one earthquake I think earlier this year, whatever. I mean, we just constantly earthquakes. But anyway, I kind of mentally timed it where like, hey, I felt the earthquake. When will it show up on Blue Sky? And of course, the fact. I mean, the X factor is how many people I follow. Are they in Southern California? All that stuff. I understand that, but you know what I mean. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, it took a long time for it to just show up on Blue Sky. You know what I mean? Like earthquake. How many? What's the magnitude? Where was it located? So, anyway, I'm not here to shit talk Blue Sky, because I'd rather be on Blue Sky. I still do not want to be associated with Twitter. You know what I mean? And nothing in this 8 months, 1 year, whatever it is, has made me change my mind. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. But the closest thing I see that's similar to Twitter is Threads, because like I said, everybody's on Instagram. Not everybody, but a lot of people are on Instagram, which automatically makes they're also on Threads kind of situation.
Yeah.
So that's why Threads seems to be growing a lot faster than Blue Sky. I would like to not have to use Threads if I could, for obvious reasons. Yeah. But at the same time, that's where I end up seeing the Twitter-esque kind of atmosphere is in Threads.
Yeah, I quit I quit Instagram about around the same time as Twitter. I actually don't miss Instagram. I don't miss Instagram as much as I thought I would, because who doesn't like staring at bikinis? Bikini girls in bikinis and stuff. But still, I don't actually miss it that much either. So I don't know. I'm happy with TikTok for now. See what happens in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, folks.
We did it again.
We did it again. This was episode 909 of the Stuff and Junk Show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me and Jiaming. And until next time, this podcast has been...
You have no choice. We're the only one here.
If you will listen to us till the end, thank you very much. And that's what I mean. Until next time...
sitting through that 10-minute bit that Albert did about extrovert, amalgam burst. I don't know what those...
Otrovert.
Otrovert. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Is it Otrovert? Yeah, Otrovert.
I put the podcast on mute at that
point. Until next time, this podcast has been a Who with Worst My Production. Maybe I shouldn't be drinking boba.
You shouldn't be drinking boba?
No, because I'm like, I think I can hear myself chewing the boba.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Come on, control yourself.